Alright, what we got going on today, working on this Acura over here. I'm going to finish up some things so we can get it on the dyno later this week. First off, in the middle of wiring up this MAC valve so we can have some boost controls. And I've already got my two wires running through the firewall here. They go behind the engine, come on over into here. I have the two wires I've ran into the car. They're not hooked up yet in the car, but one's going to be a power, one's going to go to the ECU. The power one, you want to hook to a 12-volt source when the ignition switch is on. Key on, engine off, and key on, engine on, and these 12 volts. Other side is just going to go to the computer. As far as hooking them to the solenoid, the polarity does not matter. Do not make this too complicating. The polarity does not matter. We'll get to how they hook up in the car in a minute. I'm going to solder these, then we'll get to that. Alrighty, she's all hooked up there. Got to run some vacuum lines. When you dig up some fittings for the gate, then we'll be back. But she's all wired up, wire tucked in nicely, following that loom, running in the car. Let me find some fittings for the wastegate, and we'll be back. Alright, so we're back. Got the fittings in the gate. Not the nicest fittings. Customer supplied a gate, no fittings. Make them do. What we're gonna do, since the exhaust is right here, boost solenoids over here, we don't want to melt the vacuum lines. We're gonna run them up over here. One of them's gonna tee into this regulator vacuum hose I already got off, but then they're gonna come around and back over here. Let me put this camera down and I'll get to work. But what we're gonna do, this MAC valve is labeled. Let me get my light. Alright, over here on this side you got two. A little hard to read. GoPro ain't focusing too good. But two is gonna go to the top of the wastegate. One over here is gonna go to a vacuum source, preferably at the intake manifold. Works a little better than at the turbo. So we're going to run it to the intake manifold. And that's got to also branch off and go to the side of the gate. Number one will go to the side of the gate and a good vacuum source slash boost source at the intake manifold. And we're going to use this thing. We're going to tee into that. Alright. Alright, so here we go. Alright, we got the top of our gate. It goes to 2. Bottom of our gate goes to 1 on the solenoid, and also a good boost slash vacuum source. I teed it into the regulator. But what we got is one comes around from the side of the gate. There's a T. Continues straight through and keeps going to the solenoid, to number 1. Then that branches off and goes to the vacuum slash boost source. Alright, then number 2 just goes from the top of the gate once again all the way around to the solenoid, to number 2. Alright, we are all buttoned up under the hood. I've put zip ties on everything that didn't quite fit snug. Don't want no vacuum lines popping off, causing an overboost issue. We got boost cut for that, but I don't want to take no chances on something so stupid. We're just going to secure it. Alright, now we got to go to the inside of the car and finish wiring this thing. Alright. Alrighty. Inside the car. We've run 2 wires in. One comes to the ECU over here. I've already got my heat shrink on. Have not made my connection. It's gonna go, one wire is gonna go to A11 on the ECU. That is your first big plug. Alright, A11, I had to add a wire. This harness didn't have it in it. It's one of those eBay jumper harnesses. And again, it's gonna go to A11. The way that counts is 1 on the top, 2 on the bottom, over 1 on the top, 3, then 4 on the bottom. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and this will be 11. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it is your 6th wire over from the right, looking at it in this direction. If you have a wire in your harness, you can just snip it and connect the wire you ran in from the controller to A11. If you don't have the wire, you'll need to add it. I had to add it. To add it, you just flip this piece up, get the right thing, and stick it in there. Alright, I'm gonna solder this up, and then we'll move on to the power. Once again, our crack lighter does the job. Alright, there's our ECU wire plugged in. Now we got to go over here to this other side and hook up our power wire. Alright, keys on, got our lights. Let's find a power here. See if we can get one. Oh, there we go. 11.3. Nothing. Nothing. So if you have a DA Integra, this exact model is a 92 model. That last thing up there, that's what we're gonna hook it to. That's our power for the Mac valve. Alright. I know you can't see nothing, and I kind of gotta just work as I hold the camera. Alright, YouTube, that's all she wrote right there. There she is in the fuse box, ready to go. Pretty much it for now till we move on to soldering the components in the ECU. Might save that for another video. But for those of you who just want to get your Mac valve install ready for your tuner, that's the gist of it right there. See you next time.
first gear out.